I'm here to tell you a little bit about my story and my past, and kind of show you guys basically that Beachbody's not all about just losing weight or losing a few inches here and there or gaining muscle if you're a guy and want to get ripped. It's not all about that. It's I've met a lot of really cool people. I'm a friend. I've met a lot of good friends on here. That's something I really never had. We'll get into that more when I start telling you a little bit about my past. But this stuff really changes lives. It's not only about weight loss. In my past, I struggled a lot with drug addictions, a lot of different drugs. I'd quit one and need another one, so to speak. I would, I was on methamphetamines for 2 years, a little over 2 years maybe. I did a lot of cocaine for years. The age of like 6 till about 24, 25. I did a lot of cocaine. I brought a couple of pictures. I don't know if you guys will be able to see them. But this one was me when I was probably about 14 years old. That's with a 4-time Olympian champion. I was in martial arts. I was happy. I was clean. I was sober. Had a lot of great times, a lot of great memories. And I got my black belt. I was able to achieve that. I was an assistant instructor when I was 16 years old. I could have probably had my own training gym by now with my own students if I would have actually stuck with it. This other picture of me was, I think, when I was 18 or so, about 2 years later. Smoking meth at that time, doing a lot of cocaine. It was really hard. I'd done really low things in my life. I've asked a lot of family for money to the point where a lot of my family wouldn't talk to me for years. I'd go to family reunions and, my grandparents and everyone would, hey, Zach, how you doing? And then, go about their family, I wasn't part of it almost. And it really, it hurt, but I was angry and a young punk back then and didn't care. I just wanted to leave, go do some more drugs. Most of my teenage years were pretty much spent in a room with a few people, very few people, just doing our drugs together. And then when I actually quit doing the meth and I started to slow back on the cocaine, I really picked up drinking even more. It got so bad to where I was drinking about a 30-pack or more every day. And if I didn't finish the 30-pack, the night before, I would go pick up another one and try to finish both of them that night, and if I was laid off that day, I was drinking from the time I woke up till the time I had passed out. And sometimes it was early. I'd pass out, wake up, and start drinking again. I had a real bad problem. And that's when that became not enough. So I was drinking so much, I started doing prescription pills, Oxycontins, morphines, Vicodins, Percocets, stuff like that, anything I could get my hands on. I've lost a lot of friends because of that, due to jail or just losing their lives all. And, I lost a lot of great friends. That stuff really ruins your life. In 2012, I went to the doctor because I couldn't kick this cold. And I figured it was bronchitis and I needed some antibiotics. So I went to the doctor and they do your blood pressure and your cholesterol and everything before, the checkup. And his eyes got really big and I seen it in his face. I was like, what's up? And he's like, what do you do to yourself? And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he told me my cholesterol and my blood pressure was so high at such a young age. I'm going to be actually 29 tomorrow. In 2012, I was, 27 years old. And my doctor literally looked at me in the eyes and said that if I kept doing whatever it was I was doing, I wouldn't live to see 50. And if I did, I wouldn't want to be alive. That's what the doctor told me. And I was such an alcoholic, I didn't even let that faze me. I really didn't care. I just wanted medicine for my bronchitis and go home and get drunk. At that point in life, I didn't really care about myself anymore. I the drugs and the drinking caused me to lose my the best girl I ever dated. For 5 years, I dated her, and she just had enough. I don't blame her. And I just kept drinking. I kept doing my pills. On my, I think it was my 26th birthday, I was so messed up and didn't care. I would drink, go swimming with my buddies, go to the side to throw up, and then I would do more, and then drink some more, go and just repeat. I kept, like, I puked probably 5 times that day, but just kept going because I just didn't care about myself. I started. I talked to. I'm an Xbox Live guy, and I talked to a friend of mine who was a really good friend of mine on Xbox. I've never met him in real life, and I'm not the guy. I never really shared my personal, information with anyone because I wasn't really close to too many people. And he just was somebody I didn't know, so I didn't really care if he knew about me or anything. And I told him, I'm like, man, I just got some horrible news from the doctor. And he told me about his buddies and everybody doing Beachbody and this and that. And I was broke. I was making $11 an hour, still drinking heavily, so I needed my beer money. And I didn't really have that much money, and I didn't think about it, and I was like, well, I can't really do that stuff. And he finally talked me into it, so I got the P90X is what I started doing. That was the first thing I'd done because I've heard about it. So I tried it out, and actually the exact moment that I decided to quit drinking, I decided to do back and biceps. And I already had like 6 beers in me, but to me back then, 6 beers was like one. I didn't do anything to me. So I was like, well, I'm gonna do my workout. I'm gonna finish that, and we'll see what happens here. And I did, trying to push myself, and that was what made me quit. I really wanted to get healthy because I thought of my doctor telling me. That was when I started thinking, I'm like, man, I'm really feeling down. I started bogging down. I could sleep all day and wake up feeling like I got an hour of sleep. And that's what made me think, I need to push myself. I got to quit this drinking thing, and I got to quit these drugs. I got to quit these pills. Cause I don't want to. I was 27. I thought my life's half over, really. And that scared me. I didn't want to die in less than 25 years. And I really could feel it. And so I knew I had to make a change. And that's why I told you guys in the beginning that Beachbody isn't about losing weight. I wasn't extremely overweight when I started this. I did have a really awesome beer gut that I developed. But I was probably 30 pounds overweight. And I definitely lost that. I definitely lost the beer gut, and I'm glad for that. It feels a lot better. But the biggest thing that Beachbody did for me is it's changed my life. I quit drinking. I can go to my family reunions now, and my grandparents will hug me and sit, and they just want to talk to me, and they don't get enough of me, and that's something I never had when I was younger because of what I used to do. And I'm glad that my coach pushed me and kept me going, because I wouldn't be where I was today, and I'd be, that. So you guys, this stuff definitely changes lives. If you guys might just be starting out. I've been coaching for a while, but only for a discount. I just recently started taking this stuff seriously because in the springtime I went to the doctors, and they told me that I got a new doctor, and he just was like, everything's normal. And I asked him, I'm like, well, I went to the doctor, and last year my doctor said that I was going to die when I was 50. And he's like, well, let me check. Let me take a look at my your old records. And when he did, he looked the same way the other doctor did. And he was like, wow, what have you been doing? So I told him, I've been drinking Shakeology. I've been working out all the time. And I feel so much better. I can go to my family reunions. I'm my little cousin's favorite cousin. I can run around, and I can keep up with the best of the little ones, And before I would play with them, and then like, okay, you got to go play with somebody else. You know, they didn't really get to know me. So it feels good to be able to hang out with my family. They want to hang out with me instead of like trying to avoid me as much as possible. It feels really good. I've definitely gained a lot more friends through this stuff. It's something that you can get people into. It's not, you know, they don't even got to be, you know, extremely overweight. I wasn't. This is something I'm extremely passionate about now. It's changed my life. I'm going to be able to live a lot more fulfilling life because of this. And another thing I've never mentioned before is I don't have allergies anymore, which is an extreme plus. If you guys have allergies or ever have had them, they suck. And ever like about 2 months after I started drinking the Shakeology, I noticed that stopping. I don't buy allergy pills anymore. I can go out in the woods and enjoy it. I'm a nature guy. I love being out. I grew up around the woods and the trees and hundreds of acres of land, so I love the woods, and I love to be able to go out there now and not have to eat a bunch of pills just to make it through the day. So that's my message I really wanted to put out to you guys, is this stuff it's not all about the weight loss. It's not all about, you know, it's about meeting great friends, people who really are there to support you through the hard times, because I know I went through a lot of hard times with this. This stuff is amazing. It changes lives, you guys. Keep that in the back of your mind. And if you don't think you have a great story, or you just started and you don't know what your story is, it took me a long time really to discover. I had so many different stories until I really found the one. I mean, my life, you know, I was like all excited as a new coach when I first started and when I first gave it a shot, and I was like, you know, oh, this stuff's got me fit. I lost my beer gut, this and that. But I wasn't telling them the whole thing. I didn't tell them about how you know, how bad of an alcoholic I was, how many different drugs I tried. You know, that stuff, all that stuff is horrible. I mean, you can really go. I've seen some really dark times. I've seen some really bad places. I've been in a lot of really horrible situations. And I'm just so glad that my friend reached out to me and brought me to Beachbody. And you guys, if you guys don't think for some reason that you don't have a great story, think about everything that this has done for you. And if you can't share, or you're too timid to share your story, friend me on Facebook. You can share my story. You can share you know, a lot of each other's stories. I'm sure a lot of you have awesome stories. You know, I'm not the only one that has overcome a big deal because of Beachbody. This stuff, you know, it's changed millions of lives or thousands of lives. I'm not sure, I don't count, but I've met a lot of people that have really done some great things since they've started. I've seen a lot of people do some really prosper a lot just in their life, in their financial. So I'm excited to actually start taking this seriously, and I really want to change lives, and I want to help people. I want to help a lot of my friends, because I still have a lot of friends that suffer with drug addiction. A lot of my friends back home still do the morphine and the meth. That stuff's everywhere.
I was going to ask you, have you, since you've started and got clean and been doing Beachbody and workouts, have any of your friends that you used to use with converted over with you, or not quite yet?
Not yet. A lot of them, they're really stuck in their ways. I have noticed, and it is kind of funny to me now, and it makes me feel really good, but a lot of them have been trying to watch what they eat a little bit more, because I eat a lot healthier and I post a lot of healthy foods and stuff like that, you know, and it is cool. A lot of them have been, and I noticed a few of them trying to cut back on their drinking, and they talk about it, so I'm getting somewhere with it, you know, and that's really the group of people I want to help, because I know what it's like. I know it's hard, and quitting is the hardest part I've had. And honestly, out of everything that I've quit, prescription pills was the hardest thing I ever had to quit. I was literally shaking, probably too much information, but I did accidentally crap myself a couple times, totally uncontrolled, had no idea. Just my whole body was going crazy because I was trying to quit this thing that I did so much of and depended on for so long. And, you know, if you do find somebody and you do help somebody that does drug addictions, do know that it is hard and they may fall off. I fell off a lot. I did it hard for like 2-3 months with the P90X, started doing Les Mills Combat, and I kind of fell out of it for a while and started drinking again. But my coach kept on me like, hey, man, you did so much good progress. You made it so far, dude. Why give up now? He was right. And so I continued to push, and I gave it my all, and I did quit. You know, I still drink, but not, once every couple months. I rarely ever. My friends beg me to drink. So, you know, I have more fun at life now that I'm sober than I did when I was drunk. I realize that now. You know, I was really depressed and down, and most of it was because of the drugs, and I didn't notice it. You know, I thought they were helping me. Really, they weren't. It was just making everything worse. So, looks like we have 10 minutes left. So do you have anything else or any questions or anything?
Anyone else have any questions? You can unmute yourself. I asked my golden ticket question.
I'm not a bad guy. I won't bite. What's that?
I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. I'm following you on Facebook now. Just friended you, I think, last week or so. But I work in like the drug and alcohol prevention fields, and just you know, listening to your story and you know what you've overcome, it's really amazing, and it's kind of a short story that I've started to share in my profession.
Awesome.
You know, I think people who haven't been through it, I've heard people say, well, you know, exercise can become an addiction, and you know, whatever. It's healthy though. They don't seem to understand, like, it's healthy. This is okay.
I would definitely rather be addicted to health and fitness than everything else I've been addicted in my life. So.
Right, exactly. So thank you though. Thank you. I was excited that you were on this call.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything fun? Fun questions?
I don't bite.
I'm trying to think of anything else. Ooh, fun music. Is your family on board with you? Like, is your family working out and drinking Shakeology with you, or? They
are very stubborn people. They do notice that they talk about it all the time, and I know it can help a lot of them. They just are not. They have been doing little exercises and going to the gym, and I'm like, oh, I can save you so much more money if you don't go to the gym. But, you know, sometimes it just takes people time. It took me a lot of time to realize that I needed to do something before I actually did anything about it. So, and I do get a lot of people telling me how motivational I am, and that to me feels good because that's never been the case. Nobody's definitely ever told me anything too much positive in my past. So
yeah, that's awesome, especially since I came from Maine, where when I left 10 years ago, heroin was just like exploding, and I was 16, 17 years old. And to watch all, you know, hardcore drugs most people don't get away from them. So to see somebody get away from them and not only just survive, but to start thriving and living an awesome life, like, it's awesome. I love it.
It is. That's why I tell everyone now, you know, I mean, I was all about the weight loss and everything, but that's why I tell everyone, you know, it's not all about that. It is. You totally can lose weight and get fit, because I've definitely am in better shape now than I have been in years. But it definitely, it changes your life. You want to change. I mean, you start feeling awesome. The shake does make you feel great. I mean, I feel awesome and have ever since, you know, have way more energy. Like I said, the allergies are gone. So this stuff changes your lives. It's not just about weight loss. It's about total health and fitness. And financial, if you become a coach. I know a lot of coaches who have started even after me, and I didn't take it too serious in the beginning, and they did right away from the beginning, and now they are, you know, they're leading their own teams and they're doing great. And it already does. I mean, I've taken it serious, and it's already helping me a little bit with my financial. So, you know, and I just started taking it seriously. I can't wait to get going really, you know, and help out. You know, I really want to help out a lot of people.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for getting on and taking the time to share your story with us. We really, really appreciate it.
No problem.
And hopefully we'll see you in Nashville.
Oh, you bet. I'm on the waiting list.
Sweet. Yeah, it's a waiting list.
I was on the waiting list as soon as my coach told me about one. I was like, all right, I'm signing up now.
Yeah.
So do it, guys,
how
definitely.
Fast it sold out. It was craziness.
I know.
15,000 tickets are just gone. Just like that. I couldn't believe it.
Amanda?
Yes?
Oh, good. See, I have no video, so I don't know if I can be heard.
Oh,
can I, Zach, first of all, congratulations. That's amazing. Me and my husband are youth pastors, and what would you say, this may not be Beachbody related, but it could definitely help us out. What would you say to like yourself at 16, 17, 18 years old that might have, kind of changed your life back then or helped you out, differently than the path you were heading?
Wow, that's a good question. What would I say to myself? Well, I would definitely smack myself in the head for one. Maybe more than once. For another, I guess I would just tell myself, you can have fun without drugs. It's kind of hard. It was hard to imagine that at that age doing drugs. Because I had a lot of good times and messed up times doing them, but it leads to really bad places, and you can have so much more fun being sober. Mm-hmm. And people in society will look at you a lot better. I could just tell. It's weird. I don't know if people can just tell I got an orb, like a sober orb going on around me now. But like I could just tell people look at me more, smile at me more, wave at me. I mean, before I used to think it was because I was just a no-haired guy with a beard that looked weird. But, and I think people could just tell. I can tell from older pictures too. I look cleaner. I feel healthier. I look healthier. I think people just help. So I would tell myself, there's life beyond drugs, and you can have fun without them. You can have fun without booze. And I guess I would just tell myself, well, if I knew and I could tell myself how horribly and how soon I could die, I would definitely tell myself that. I don't think that really would have scared me too much, though, because I was just a young, fearless guy. But yeah, I guess I would just tell myself I can have a lot more fun without drugs than I can with them, and it's hard to believe, but it's true.
Great. Okay, thank you.
You bet.
We got 3 minutes left. If anybody has anything else, they're just going to kick us off because I'm too cheap to pay for this.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I was wondering if you had interest getting back into martial arts since you were so successful at it at a younger age.
I actually am extremely interested in doing it. I have a lot of financial things I got to take care of because I was such an idiot for a while there. But as soon as that gets taken up, I do actually want to get back into it. And even though I would travel probably an hour and a half away, I wouldn't mind going back to my same instructor and everything, just because he knows, he tested me, he knows I'm a black belt. I would just have to run through it all again, it would just be easier. But I love martial arts. That's the second thing. As soon as I found out that Les Mills Combat existed, I was like, sign me up, I want
it. Since he was a good influence on you in your younger years, it'd probably be good to reconnect with him.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, good luck.
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys.
All right, well, we'll wrap up because we only have, it'll be a minute before it kicks us off. So thank you so much again for taking the time to share your story with us. It's awesome. And we'll see you later, everybody. I'll post your link in our group so that you guys can all find Zach and go friend him on Facebook.
Thanks again, guys. Bye.